Double delta EM on the 6.
Test 1. Test 2. Alrighty then, mic check, mic check. Good morning. It is Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. How is everybody doing here this morning? Getting things going here. If you'll give me just a couple of moments, we'll be getting right into our trading. If you are new with us, got a 5 to fill up here. Job to do. We will be using AlgoBox today to make our pay. I'm going to get the full auto system turned on here real quick. I'm going to zoom out here so you guys can see me get this part going. All right. Arm long, arm short, full auto on. Arm long, arm short, full auto, Enigma 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 on. For my 6 correlated instruments, I've got this running across what I call the nerd. All right. Now I'm mislabeling all these, but just for fun. NASDAQ, ES, RTY, and the Dow plus 2 golds. All right, we got black gold, crude, and regular gold over there on the right to round out some diversification across the Enigma bot pack. All right, that is with the Dream Panel pack. Come back down here to our main filtered screen here. We've got our primary filterings right here in our purview. We've got step 1 and step 2. Before we take our entries, if you have not been following along with us, well, let's just talk about the ones who have. You know, we've got the direction bias filter based on the nerd. The direction filter up top is based on that nerd, NASDAQ, ES, RTY, and the Dow. That is a conglomerate indicator that we've created so that you can have a direction bias filter based on all 4 of the correlated instruments. So if you're trading the Dow, well, we've got the correlations along with it. We just hit a what looks like a triple ready DD here. Looking for a Titanic Zone potential, and it kind of correlates here with the lower time frame as well. That is the 3rd ready DD here in a row. It is 9:14, just turned 9:15 now, with a super dot short opportunity there. We are currently, though, the 2 steps, we are strong buy and green arrow.
Enigma short on the YM3.
Later. Let's see. All right, news. Let's check on what's going on with the news here this morning. We've got A 9 and a 9:30. So 9 o'clock is already passed. We've got a 9:30 FOMC member Harker speaking right at the open. So hopefully gives us some extra volatility there at the open. And we also have 10 a.m. So 30 minutes after that, we'll need to set alarm for multiple things going on there at 10 a.m. We've got Euro-related ECB President Lagarde speaking. We've got consumer confidence at the same time. And the Richmond Manufacturing Index. So we've got two mediums. And then we've also got IMF meetings there 15 minutes after that. Okay. So we're going to have... looks like a lot of fun, in my opinion. Here before the coffee break. There, in 5 minutes into it, at 10:15, there is another event. Let me get some. I think it's dark in here today. Let me turn on some light. I don't mind. There's some lights going on here in the office. Give me 1 second here. How is everybody doing here this morning? How are you? Where are you from? Kind of tell me there in the chats. I'd like to know where you're coming in here from. Let me get your chats here on the screen. Oh, thank you, Captain Rex. Thank you for reminding me to turn my virus protection off. I did happen to remember that one this morning. Thank goodness. But I do appreciate every time you guys remind me, because how many times do I forget? Way too often. That is for sure. I appreciate you guys having my back on reminding me. Hey, Vinny, don't forget to turn off the antivirus. Yes, that real-time protection that turns itself back on continuously. I did check it this morning, and I did turn it off. Woohoo! Yay me. All the way from Cyprus. Plutonium in the house. Ballarat. Australia. Good morning, Wilbur. Fayetteville, North Carolina. OB in the house. Good morning, David. From Detroit. All the way up in Maine. The top corner of the U.S. How are things in Maine? What's it like up there? Is it cold right now in Maine? Is it legit that I think about snow crab when I think of Maine? Is that a Maine thing? I don't say for everybody there, but I'm just going like, is that where the snow crab, is that where the good snow crab comes from? Or is that just lobster? All the way from the UK, Kevin. Cali girl out there. California. Macedonia. It's still chilly there. Hollywood, Florida. It's Johnny. America's hat. My Canadian friend, Don James. Good morning, sir. Another Australian. Melbourne all the way. Right there in the name, Mr. Kiter. Orlando, Florida. Good morning, Wind Rider. South Carolina. Brian Hendricks, good morning. Portland, Oregon. Dr. Leaf. How are you, sir? I remember our chat still. Great chatting with you. Good morning, Missile. Good morning, Abby. Good morning, Patrick. Another Orlando.
OMC member Harker speaks.
Pennsylvania.
On the 6.
Portugal. Standing in downtown. Good morning, George. Hopefully you guys got to, how many of you guys attended boot camp last night or got to watch it after hours? If you did, type a 1 for fun, and 2, if you might need to review and catch up. We had day number 1 boot camp after the market closed yesterday, 4:30 p.m. We'll do session 2, day 2 for our 10-day boot camp this evening at 4:30 EST after the market close. Dak all the way from Illinois, up there with the CME, sitting on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Mr. Long the Market from Canada as well. Big Dallas. We got a H-Town. Good morning, Tommy Trades. Hope you're keeping the hometown warm down there. Mr. Edward, good morning. Nebraska. Douglas, cold in Iowa. Petro got to watch almost all of it. I'm gonna watch the rest. Yeah, it was a long one, so we did. Our first session was 2 hours. The idea on it, it's full deep dive. We're covering everything.
On the 34.
Everything you need to know in 10 days. Compacting that 40-day initial training into 10 sessions. All right, we are about 6 minutes from the US Open, so killing just a couple more seconds there. All right, those of you who are new with this, so today I'm going to be pretty much just focused straight in on trading. I'll try to do some teaching and training along the way as well on a Tuesday, but we really primarily focus on the new stuff and new questions and all that on Mentorship Mondays. So if you missed the Mentorship Monday, not just the boot camp and the after hours, but Mentorship Monday during the morning session, definitely check that one out from yesterday. It was a good one. Lot of walking through things, tips, tricks, techniques, and then watched me actually do it live. The Mentorship Mondays are going to be very helpful to you, and full auto Fridays for the advanced level stuff. So we kind of bookend the week with beginner stuff on Monday, advanced level stuff on Fridays. If you are not signed up for the boot camp, you can go over there to algoboxpro.com/reboot to let us know you'd like a seat to come hang out and participate with us. Be great to have you with us. It's free. Let's see, we've still got about 5 minutes here. And for the new folks, we do have a free Discord trade room. We have free training. We have a free trial. I feel like there's some other stuff that we have free. What is the other free stuff? Free live streams. Free walkthroughs. Compacting the full 120 days. That is true. Now, there is a little bit more after the 10-day boot camp. I still think you need to take some practice time, but we're condensing at least that forward part. I'm just being straight up with it. Like during the, I laid out the entire system to be the 120-day program is so that you have that time for practice in sim as well, working on the techniques that we talked through. But that first section, I'm really condensing the meat of execution, focused specifically on the execution, not necessarily deep dive into how the sausage is made. That course is still there, for the people who want to deep dive afterwards, but just getting started, getting rolling. Like, okay, how does this work? How do I do it? And that should help, especially the people who've already been around the markets for a while, but even the folks who are new, going, okay, their whole goal, everybody's coming here to go, I'm not doing this for fun. I'm doing this to make money. And I want to do it as quickly as possible. I get it. That's what people all want to do. So can you compact the educational component of that for me? This is our best effort to do that. And the first upfront part of the first 40 days, compacting that into 10. So whether you compact that first 10 and then you still need to spend 2 sets of 40 through practice of quantity and quality, I feel like that still might be there, but you guys, I'm always looking for feedback. So if people think that you could shortcut that, or, you know, I don't know, you think that the system has gotten so good now that you're more comfortable jumping in sooner than that, I'd love to hear some of that feedback. So I'll be asking some of you guys who participate in that boot camp with us, kind of getting some feedback from you guys afterwards, if you don't mind. That would be awesome. AlgoBox is better than SMB Capital. I appreciate that, my friend. We do just kind of, I mean, we have a cheat. That's the thing. Like, they don't have software. They're stuck in, you know, having to still figure it out and telling a person they're going to have to spend years of time developing honing their own personal, like, they become the algorithm, and then I've got the algorithm. I'm like putting the algorithm in front of you. I'm shortcutting that whole thing. All right, we are a couple minutes, well, actually like 1 minute from the open. Let's go. Don't forget, trading is risky and all that business. Let's get to it. So I'm going to arm long, arm short, and I'm going to full auto my own here. And I'm going to set the ATM to small and let the system do its thing even for the first 5 minutes. There for me. Super AOs and Enigmas turned on.
We are the cyborgs.
That's not the one. All right. Smash that like button and I'll be right back.
Tappity tap, smash that like, don't hold it back. Bippity bop, flippity flap, hit the like button, make it snap. Tickety tock, hit that spot, like it up, don't let it rot.
East Lagarde says we're headed toward target over the course of 2025. That's the inflation future target.
Cadence coming up.
This inflationary path is near completion. Lagarde says Euro strength reflects Europe's fundamentals. And there is downside risk on growth.
Upper bands touch YM on the 29. Divergence down YM on the 9.
Clickety clap, tappity tap, smash that like, don't hold it back. Bippity bop, flippity flap, hit the like button.
Lagarde says, I can't say there's definitive downside risk materialization on inflation, and I can't say what the impact of tariffs is on inflation. impact of tariffs on inflation is to be seen.
Upper band touch YM on the 89.
Smash the like button.
Lagarde says will be as predictable as possible.
Light it up. Smash the like button. Smash.
Again, saying will be predictable as is possible.
Hold up. Smash. Smash. The like button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yo, hit it now. I saw him tap. Boom. I saw him tapping. Run it up. Run it up. I saw him tapping. Don't hold back. I saw him tap. Smash it up. Like button.
Lagarde says inflation projection for 2025 is likely at 2.1%.
AlgoBoxers, light it up. Woo! Smash the like button. Smash. 1, 2, we smash. 1, 2, hold up. Smash.
All right. I need to lose a little more weight, so let's go stand-up desk mode.
Yo, hit it now. I saw him tap. Boom. I saw him tapping. I run it up. I saw him tapping. Don't hold back. I saw him tap. Like button.
Alrighty then, let's talk about cadence. Let's hand out some more golden nuggets. So I was just thinking about this play that kind of V'd around this Enigma. It V'd around it, right? And I was kind of going, you know, as I came back in after we were walking through another example there on the high of day. It's another example where if it's slow, it's gonna go. So write that one down. Another golden nugget here. If it's slow, it's gonna go. And if it's fast, probably not gonna last. Okay. Did you notice it was like slow motion, right? That had just come up in here. It's still slow going. So it's a grind. We also have another phrase around the rhymes. If you like this one, in a grind, do not rewind, meaning we're not rewinding and going back. It is grinding in that direction, okay? Grinding up. And in a grind, some people get that mixed up because they're like, oh, well, grind, it means like it's going back and forth, or it's grinding in an area, it's staying, and it's in a consolidation zone, or it's, oh, here we go. Wait. We got a pink dot up top. Pink dot ready to D. I'm gonna start grabbing some bags here. Hold on a sec. We get you guys out to here. All right, we just put in a pink dot up here after continued moves up here, and that looks pretty strong. People should be probably trying to. I'm gonna go quarter position here on this one and see if we get some juice out of this higher time frame filter coming right into a red ready DD plus a divergence plus a pink power dot on a Fibella dot. Yes, please. Okay, so I'm going to Dr. Seuss this play because I didn't get the perfect entry up top. It's already moved.
Russia's Vladimir region after explosion.
How many ticks here? It's already moved 59 ticks down from that dot, unfortunately, so I'm over here catching the end of the move here. And don't worry, we are going to talk about that cadence here. I just want to see if I can add a bag here.
Double delta NQ on the
So I'm going to zoom in here looking for Dr. Seuss entries, and I want to be perfect on those.
Fib.ym on the 9.
Oh, we just green dotted behind that. Yikes. Okay, well. Into R1. Can work through that consolidation or not. Okay, another Dr. Seuss there. Going on another run. I'm going to get my hotkeys here, and this was not part of the original plan here. Coming down to my point of entry, I'm going to half because I'm half as confident in that original idea. And the fact that we got that dot that showed up in there. $637. I saw 39 ticks. And 40 ticks. Targets filled. We'll grab another bag for 11,631 coming out of, where did that begin? High time frame play setup coming in here, looking for, why am I looking for 40 bag off of that? Remember, it's not a 20 anymore now. I'm going double that because I've got a big time frame coming in here. Fractally, if this one's going to work out, I have a bigger potential for a play like this. So I'm looking for that extra large bag. Does everybody get that? If you get it, type a 1. 2, if we need to review that, and oh, I forgot something. I'll be right back.
Enigma short on the YM3.
ECB President Lagarde, net impact of tariffs on inflation to be observed. ECB President Lagarde will be as predictable as possible. ECB President Lagarde, inflation
Fib.ym on the
2%. ECB President Lagarde, banking system solid. Gallipoli, central bank shifted to higher rate with some certainty. Brazil may experience less impact than other emerging markets from trade war. Diversification, local market can help in trade war. Brazil sees unprecedented decline in joblessness. Central bank shifts to tightening rate regime with enhanced security. Assessing restrictiveness of rate level.
Fib.ym on the 29.
ECB President
ECB's
Lagarde,
President Lagarde says we
very
don't
much
see a
power
recession in the
removal
euro
is
area.
not on the table. ECB President Lagarde, no recession in the euro area.
Okay, so back to my thoughts from before. Oh, is this about to turn into a 3 cadence? Was this the afternoon already? Three cadence. Oh, folks, I'm about to turn on full auto. Okay, full auto on my charts here for number 3. We are cadence 3. Oh man, it's almost like you set this up. And by you, I'm talking about who was the person that asked that question? Let's see. Let's bring the cadence question back here. We answered that one. High of day, low of day. I'm scrolling through the chat. Crossing the crown. Yes, Red DD. Boom. Down she went. It bounced. The original move was down. Awesome Keegs. Great to hear it. Let's see. Game changer. I'm looking for it.
That was Lagarde's.
Love the Ready DD and the Delta shifts. Yes, amen. Yeah, I couldn't find your. I just scrolled through. Apparently, I'm blind. Get better glasses. I did not see. I didn't see the question. I wanted to have it on screen there to answer. Went off and got a coffee and I lost it. And same panel options, morning and afternoon. The panel options aren't necessarily dependent on morning or afternoon for the panel options. I assume you're talking about L1, L2, L3. That will have to do with which bar I'm on, and which has to do with the market speed, speedometer, right? Speedometer kind of dictates for me settings changes on the panels, but the cadence changes between morning and afternoon. So we'll talk about cadence. There are multiple levels of cadence on the daily time frame. I have a video around what to do after a windfall day. So if you go into our room, into Discord, and type !windfall, that will pop out a video that I think everybody should see. There are a couple of those right here. Let me pull the text back here a little bit here.
Gas magnate.
So windfall profits and applying the rules here. There are 2 videos that you guys should go and check out there if you type !windfall. So what to do after a big winter day. And on a big winter day, that means that the market kind of went into your favor, in your cadence. This is in you as an AlgoBox trader's cadence, because I don't want to say retail cadence because it's a whole different animal. But when you have your big time day, the market has shifted into a rhythm and a cadence that favors your style of strategy. Because even though you're an AlgoBox trader, here's the crux of AlgoBox. AlgoBox is not one strategy. AlgoBox is multiple strategies combined, which is the power of the AlgoBox. It is a box of algorithms for you to use in combination to build confluence. And each trader in our system, now there are some that are more popular than others in our strategy bag, but in general, here's your cheat sheet right here. You may favor the 3 wise men. You may just become an absolute boss level at the 3 wise men. Doesn't mean that everybody's a 3 wise men player. In fact, some people even right now, I think that's one of the more advanced strategies and more of an obscure strategy around reading the 3 wise men. We kind of just talked about it with the crowns and valleys earlier, reading a triple cross scenario in an area, and that may be your bread and butter. Another trader might be a headshot player. Like, they just absolutely love playing the headshots. Obviously, Enigma is very popular, so combinations of the Enigma, like the super moon or the moonshot, very popular combinations for an Enigma. You may be a super AO player. You're just like, I am going to tune the AOs every morning to the pivots that are coming in that 30-minute window. Every 30 minutes, I am tuning the AOs to make sure that I am in tune. The last prior pivot, the one that made the change in the move, I'm going to tune those AOs every single moment, and I'm going to smash on the super AOs or the triple ready DD up there at the top left, the one that I just smashed moments ago. Now, when you guys see me out here on live streams, I'm a diversity player here, okay? I'm all about DEI. I am diverse as I can be when it comes across spreading out the way that I'm going to play. I don't mind taking small bags and big bags, and you can get to a point where you are so good, you're kind of like Neo from the Matrix, or you just get used to the system. You play it so much that you're comfortable playing all of them, so you don't care what comes in on the cheat sheet. Here's cheat sheet number 2. You're like, hey, I know how to add in on a piercer. Piercer play comes in the direction of my 2 steps. If I get a 2-step and I'm a nerd is green and arrow is green, but I get a red dot and that red dot pierces, I am entering in on that piercer. Maybe you are a piercer play, connoisseur, etc. So my point with that is cadence, because you're like, well, if everybody... I get the naysayers coming in. Well, what happens if everybody starts using your strategy, Vinny? Then the market's going to shift and it's going to make it... Shut up for just a minute. How about you seek to understand that this is different? You think we're the same like everybody else, then I don't know what you're doing. Like, if you think this is normal, if you not, you don't get it. That's okay. But this is a multi-strategy system, putting things together. Sure, some people will all see everything all at once here in our system, especially on the higher time frames. Well, the higher time frames give you plenty of juice to work with, and so many people on trader funding programs now as well. There's that component too, and there's a whole stretch of spreading out order entries that not everybody's entering in all at the same position all at the same time, and there's a whole window of things around all that. But my point with that, back to the cadence, when your cadence has hit and you have your big windfall day, the short answer of what you're going to find out in these videos is, well, right thereafter, you got to be very careful, because when you've had a big day, the next day, first of all, you're playing into a scenario where you're way overconfident. I don't say overconfident, but you're coming in with a lot of confidence on that following day, and you're like, I got a buffer, man. I'm ready to go, and I want to do more of what I did yesterday. You're hyped up, you've got the dopamine levels going because you're excited, and that windfall day, the following day, I tell you to come in, and while you can be confident and excited, I also want you to know to be extreme level cautious and tell yourself, now I owe the market. Okay, the market, it's almost like pretend. I'm not saying it does, but you need to pretend as though you're playing a game where the opponent has started to learn what you've done, And all of a sudden, it's not going to be as fun for you because it's going to shift cadence on you. And the cadence is going to go against you. It's not going to work in your favor on that following day. Oftentimes, especially behind a windfall day where it's just a massive set of moves in your direction. You're just like, dang, you can't do, you know, there's those days when you just can't get it wrong. You're hitting every single trade. You're like, I hit 9 trades in a row, 13 Enigmas in a row. Like one of our videos, 13 in a row was insane that day. That was crazy, right? But that following day, like, okay, Enigmas might not even work at all the following day. And I'm just kidding. It's not like it does that, but I'm just saying that there are scenarios where that can occur. So all that in context, what's going on with cadence specifically? In your favor, out of your favor. Ebb and flow. These things are this, there's like this balance and shifting as the market starts to move through things. And it's as natural as accumulation, distribution. There are 2 primary phases through your play setups. And it's at the daily level and it's intraday. So what you're asking about today is intraday cadence. So with that in mind, I do want you to take into account daily as well. Okay, I just want you to know that it's there. So as I'm talking about this, you're like, oh, well, I'm only locked in on this. Again, my goal, I want you guys to be boss level traders. Oh, we're getting triple cadence. I mean, I'll just say cadence. Are we getting a triple delta shift right here? What's our time? 10:44. Okay, I'm gonna watch this one. I'm gonna wait until I get a color in here right now because where's the previous color? Do I even have a color? This one was green. Okay, so I need to be aware of the double move scenario. Oh, I just did that thing. Hold on. Press F5. Start reload. All right, triple delta shift here. That could be the trap down for, let's measure from the top of this down to, that has a 71 tick potential right now down to the bottom. Not quite 100 ticks in this space quite yet. But I do want to look for a trap, which can be as simple as a harmonic. This is king time. I mean, is this going to be this easy for me? Are they just going to hand me a bag here? All right, I'm not going to play this here yet. Okay, it's green. So I'm going to wait until there's at least one red here. Now, I do want to measure this out. If you have seen me do the Titanic Zone, I'm going to measure from the previous pivot right into the center of those, knowing where a double move could be. There's a pivot right there, but there's also this big pivot back here. I'm going to measure both just in case. And both of these gold lines above will be places that I will grab a bag regardless of whether or not this ends up being a Titanic Zone scenario here. This is a rare scenario of triple yellows here on delta shifts. That means there's a battle going on there. It does not mean that it is one-sided. Unfortunately, it is not all red or all green here on this scenario here, so it's not as likely to occur. So I want to make sure I wait for that trap back behind it. Now we're moving fast. We're not going to last. I like that. Moving fast. It's 10:46. Where is... Okay, we got prior high up above. Got 2 spots right here. Gold line 1, gold line 2 that I have to be aware about. I'm not going to give back bags here. So let's watch this and see. I need to see a red in here somewhere. As of right now, it's been all greens, and those are battle level. Let's see if I can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. So I'm going to talk about the cadence. So right now we're on a 3 cadence, which means for Enigmas, this is like on a daily level. Imagine having like, three tricky days in a row. Oh, well, now guess what happens? Now it's moved in your favor. As simple as that. Okay, the cadence is now in my favor. Okay, people think the market, people that claim that the market is completely random, they have no idea what they're talking about. You can't find the level of consistency that we find and sit there and still believe that, oh, markets are completely random. Are you sure? No, there are certain things that set up when X, Y, and Z, with these certain things are setting up, It's not random. Okay, there are things, especially when you're dealing with R2FA, real-time order flow analysis, because those order levels are actually hitting. Remember, what we do is actual hit on the tape. This is not like Bookmap where they're like showing you, oh, there's an iceberg order all around you and level 2 data here and there and everywhere. You're wasting your time, losing dimes. So it's as simple as we got 3 that have marched up here, and now we just got a blast that was fast. I don't think it's gonna last. So now I just want to find the spot where I get the best opportunity. Now there's also times of day that kind of play into that, and I teach you that in our sessions. If you type !sessions, it'll give you the breakdown of an intraday. If you type !sessions 2 in the chat, it will show you a nice little visual diagram of all the way into the after hours evening sessions, whether you're trading the Asian session or the London session overnight and into the prior morning. Can't wait till you have that windfall day, Patrick. Awesome, love to hear it. So it is a cadence. I kind of describe it as the ebb and flow. Let me point you to another place where we've got a nice little, I call it the cadence hack.
Upper bands touch YM on the 29th.
The AlgoBox official channel is where, if you're really wanting to get a lot of details around things, you want to grab it from this channel. So you want to find some short videos around stuff. I'm going to come over here and click in the search here. I'm going to type cadence, and there are several, and one of them is called the hack. So I'm going to type in hack because there's several around cadence. There it is, mental trading hack right here. How long is this video? It's an 8 minutes. I don't want to waste. I know how it is. Y'all got quick brains, and I'm going to close this position out there for another little bag here on NQ. So NQ did the ready DD back here, fast up into the top of that sucker and dropped it down into the exit point right there. Wish I would have gotten a little bit bigger on that position. They're up at the top of the channel or the breakdown, and we went green, and I'm like, all right, I'm closing it. I don't know, this thing could roll back up. Yeah, there we go. So we're on the way up there. So got the double. Again, this is not to be confused with a Titanic Zone. This is just a double. Okay, I'm not looking for some full dropout all the way down to the bottom. It was not a triple. We did get a nice double. It was fast. I don't think it's gonna last. I come up here, come into king timing at the top of a channel. So I've got my structure, and do I have an R2FA event? Those are the 2 pillars of AlgoBox. We talked about that last night in the bootcamp. Day 1, our 2 pillars. What are our 2 pillars? Structure and R2FA for an entry. Then filtering direction. Of course, this one is not one of those because we are looking for a reversal scenario on one of these. We have a higher time frame coming down. We did already have a neutrality coming in, so some of the other instruments are moving with us. A lot of things played into that one. NQ moves very quickly. So there we go, trying to walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, as I said before. This little mental hack, though, you'll see me kind of working through, working with my coins there on 5 plays and kind of explaining how, if you find yourself off in a cadence, that wait until cadence comes back in your favor. It's a hack. It is a hack. So go check this one out there. Type in probably just the word hack. Like, go over to the channel itself and do the search here for that hack. Another good place to do this, let's talk about our documentation, because I think this is the more thorough way. To do that. Okay, so we come over here to our docs.algoboxpro.com. So in the documentation area, And if you just head over to our website, if you're like, I don't know, what do you say? Docs.algobox, just go to algoboxpro.com, our website, and then click Docs at the top. That'll take you to your documentation area. And right up here in the search, Vinny said something about his hack. Okay, what is this hack thing? Oh, trade tracker and market cadence. There it is. There's that cadence hack thing he was talking about. Let me go see that. Takes you straight to the video here, and it will give you some examples right here with our nice, awesome graphics and things with our graphics team. Got this all laid out here for you. So go check out that cadence counting. I always joke about this little hack is like, okay, if you're struggling trading and you just need some kind of very simple, straightforward strategy, or if you need a bump right off the bat to get you going before you deep dive into the trading, and you want, if you're like, you're just chomping at the bit, you've got to have some kind of toe in the water or some piece of risk in the market at some point. If that's you, and you're like, well, which one should I do? If I'm suggesting it to myself, not to you, because I'm not making you trading advice, but if it's me, I'm going with cadence. It's a hack. Okay, if I can count to 3, I can count cadence, and then I can turn on and execute with Enigmas, for instance. This works on some other things as well, but I always use the cadence or the example of Enigma because it's so easy to count, and it is a very specific entry. And Enigma is multiple things. It's literally X, Y, and Z axis. It's not just time and price. It is also the Z axis through time and sales patterns, internals. So you've got X, Y, and Z combination. So you've got the structure. You've got the R2FA. You've got the advanced level Enigma components internal to it. So when that one gets you cadence, it's very, very powerful. So if it's me, I'm going to do Enigma cadence. Okay, that's just me. And, you know, some other people find that a good idea as well. So if you want to find it in our chat, go there, watch that. But it's as simple as ebb and flow, count to 3. In the afternoons, I am counting to 3. In the mornings, it's usually 2. Like, you can hardly ever find, like, this is such a rare thing to see a 3 get run through like this, especially in the mornings. So rare. Like, this is not going to happen very often. And when it does, this is like, okay, we're playing like it's the afternoon, but I want to wait until 11:30 to 12:30 for a big one. If I'm waiting for a big one, now I might grab a quick bag. But if I'm looking for like what's calling the high of day for a time period and we're really going to get a big shift, it's going to probably happen around the 11:30 to 12:30 midday scenario, as this has been another trending move day here, in this case to the upside. Let's look at, yeah, the 89 has just continued to push. We had the 5.2, 5.1, just continuing to march its way up. 89 bar or 89 ticks at a time on each bar on the 89. So just wait until that midday scenario there for the big play, or till something shows up here. These are all the wrong color for reversing this, right? Those are triple greens. So we technically are looking still for a long here. And do we have our 2-step rule to help us with that? It's as simple as, yes, I've got the nerd green. Do I have the arrow? I don't have the arrow quite yet. But as soon as I get the arrow there, now I can look for long plays for right now. And remember my 2 little areas that I want to look for when I'm measuring out a Titanic zone that I'm concerned with. Okay, well, I've got some higher time frame components that are looking like that's not going to be super healthy for me. Very just strong grinding move in a direction. I don't want to necessarily just hit in on that. I need to measure out and see, well, where can I grab a couple bags? As of right now, these are my bag points. That's number 1, that's number 2 right there, and it's right in front of prior high. Okay, so how do I mark those out? I'm literally just using the fib extension tool to give me what's the double move out of the middle of my Titanic zone potential shift right there. In this case, it was a shift. Now, generally, this is going to be either red or green. This is another rare scenario here where this is battlegrounds, multi-battlegrounds, and then followed up by greens telling us our direction is still to the long side. I know that's a lot to digest, I think. I don't know. Did I explain that good enough to where you kind of get it? Or are we all good? How are you doing? Do you have questions? If you do, go ahead and type it there in the chat. 1 if you're having fun and you get it. 2, if we need a review, ask your question there and we'll try to get them answered there
US
for you.
stocks extend gains. S&P 500 up.
No crosses. Notice, like, I didn't see any crosses on this here, and we approached that high of day. No crosses, right? So I don't have my cool little, remember I said I get kind of frustrated sometimes. I'm like, okay, we're approaching that area, and I don't got any crosses to give me any, you know, advanced level kind of, are they offsides yet? Have they caught anybody offsides? Didn't have it right here. Here comes gold line number 1. King timing right there, laying up here. Let's see what happens as we come into this area here. Did I answer your cadence question early enough? Any more detailed info you need on that cadence? Let me know. Can you talk more why bookmap, heat map don't come close to the AlgoBox pros and cons? Well, first of all, bookmap is just a giant turd, and it's called cancer charts for a reason. is that good? You tell me why you think it's good. Why don't you tell me why it's good, and I'll literally tell you how stupid that is. Like telling you why a fake dollar bill is not good. Why is a fake dollar bill not good? Well, let me think about that. So in banking, they don't teach bankers how to detect fake currency by showing them a bunch of fake currency. They show them the real deal. And that could be a good way. I'm just going like, why are you using crap? You want me to tell you why not to use crap? Okay. Mr. Canfeld, good morning, sir. All right, we are 10 seconds from the top of the hour, 11 o'clock. Here comes that midday reversal time. Let's see. Still got about, it's 30 minutes till the real juicy spot. I am very hyper aware that I am a FOMO player at this time of day. Like I don't want to miss out on the move. I want to catch. So I have so that's at times I get in early,
April 24th,
and I continue to remind myself and get better over time to go 11:30 to 12:30, baby. Like that's the sweet spot. Chris AR throwing down massive performance once again. How many accounts you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. He's got the full 20 bag going. Chris AR, are you out here in the live stream with us? I just saw you post your P&L screens there in the chat. Way to go, sir. Chris over there smashing it on 20 accounts. I see one of them up 6,000, 1,000, 300s, 200s, a lot of 300. Wow, just absolutely smashing it. Nice work, sir. $11.02. Still in the grind. is slow, so it's probably gonna go. Don't see any crosses showing up yet, so don't have the easy visual on retail popping in their heads yet. So let's make sure everybody locked in on that cadence count for Enigma. Pop quiz. What is, for me, what do I generally do for the Enigma cadence count in the mornings? In the morning session, what is the number? I'm looking for a number. What number is the cadence number for the morning session? Two is the number I am looking for. Yes, if in your head you were saying 2, great. Now, 2 is the correct answer for the morning. Now, let's talk about cadence in the afternoon. The reason I'm saying this is I know people get confused by this all the time. I'm hoping that some people got it wrong so that you don't get it wrong again, because there's nothing like getting something wrong and all of a sudden you're like, oh, it stings, right? And for me, I know, dude, if I got something wrong back in the day, I did not like getting things wrong when I was a kid. Still remember, I swear, I think I got set in on day 1 kindergarten class, getting in on Mrs. Crouch's class. It's crazy, like, the names. Mrs. Crouch. I did not want to leave Mama. Mama was like, come on, you got to go to class. I'm clinging to leg, and Mrs. Crouch is peeling me off my mom's leg, and she's like, come on, you gotta go to school. I'm like, what is this? I don't want to go. Still remember sitting there, so they get me into the class. I'm sitting in one of these little round table things. You know, they're the little short tables back in the day, you know, in kindergarten class, everything's a little tiny, close to the floor thing. You're sitting there, sitting at a circle table with these other kids around there. You don't know any of them, whatever. And teacher's up there, and, you know, you're kind of getting settled, and you're finally like, you're got the sniffles finally stopped because mom dropped you off at a place you don't know, and there's all these people you don't know. Okay, so you're sitting there at the round table, right? And Mrs. Crouch is up there at the front of the classroom, and she's like, okay, who can give me the vowels? Who knows their vowels? Now, mind you, we've just been doing like ABCs, right? Like A, B, C, D. I'm like, oh, this is good. And then she wants to throw in the curveball. Right? Mrs. Crouch is like, okay, now who can give me some vowels? Who knows their vowels? Some kid raises her hand. They're like, no. And he picks on whoever it is. I remember it's a girl, and she's like, A. She's like, that's right. A is a vowel. And I'm like, sitting there, I'm like, oh, this is going to be easy. Well, what comes after A? I'm like, it's B. I saw her raising my hand. And she's like, who's got another vowel? And I'm like, ah. And of course, I'm sure Mrs. Crouch was like, oh, this is the kid that was crying with his mom out in the hallway, like holding onto leg or whatever. She's like, okay, Vincent, why don't you tell us? Well, what's another vowel? And I'm like, B. And she's like, no, not B. That's not one. Who else has one? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, humiliated. I still remember as a kid, I was like, it was this moment of like, I got something wrong. What in the, and it, it's something weird. Something happened that day, because I still remember that to this day. Like, it was weirdly traumatizing in a way of like, didn't know your vowels. And I remember thinking to myself, well, first of all, how do these other kids? And of course, the kid right after me goes, E, right? And I'm like, how does he know? E? Why is it E? Who taught them E? Isn't this our first day of class? I'm like, well, some kids did pre-K, apparently. Okay. These kids I'm getting put in private school over there. These kids had already been doing their thing, right? I was like, I'm the poor broke kid coming into class with all these private school kids, and they're like, they already know all their vowels and stuff. I'm sitting here, I'm like, bro, I can barely do ABC. And I still remember thinking, I'm never going to get that wrong again. So what are they? A, E, I, O, U. Okay, I don't know how they knew that, but I remember the weird thing is I remember being mad at my mom. I was like, how come their moms told them about whatever this vowel thing is, A, E, I, O, and U, and how come I didn't know that? Because obviously the kids knew it. It wasn't just one kid that knew it, because it was like another kid's like A, E, another one's I, O. And the only person who got it wrong was me throwing down an A and then, oh, the natural thing would be B. Okay, well, guess what? I was never going to get that question wrong ever again. It locked it in for me. Anyway, I don't know if that was a early childhood trauma that just locked it in for me or what. But anyhow, my whole point with that is if you got it wrong and it stung a little bit, it's okay. Now you're never going to get it wrong. Okay, what is it? Cadence in the morning. Say it with me. 2 in the morning. Just like morning equals 2. Morning, 2. Afternoon, 3. Don't get them confused. In the morning, it is 2. In the afternoon, it is, say it with me, 3 in the afternoon. All right, we good? Beautiful. I blame the teachers, yes. We all had a Mrs. Crouch. Oh, man, you know what? Okay. Again, NQ is now throwing in a very tempting, juicy, double ready DD. I want to press the short button so badly right now. It is going to take everything in me. I am going to try to be disciplined. I believe this is probably a spot where we're probably going to pull down like a 20 or 40 bag right here, okay? However, it is time of day. And it is FOMO season right now. I am fighting my FOMO like a boss. I am trying not to press the button right here. Does everybody understand that? I want to hit these short buttons so bad, but it is slow. It is slow and it's going to go. Another thing, I'm going to hand out another nugget. Are you ready? At this timestamp in the video, somebody put the timestamp, if you're watching this later, timestamp this section of the video right now. Oh my goodness, it is now a Titanic Zone. Holy shnikes. I want to press the button here so bad. So bad. This is any other time of day. It is 11:09 a.m. Eastern time. This market has been marching up. And if it is slow, it is going to go in a grind. Do not rewind. This is grinding. It is continue to grind up here. It is not, there's nothing, there hasn't been a blast fast, so that's not going to last. This is just continuing to grind. It's still got some space up to even the regression channel that's sitting there in green. It ain't there yet, but I want to press the button so bad. So I am expressing to you my own understanding of FOMO. I am the fear of missing out. I want to press the button so bad right now, but I am going to try to hold myself for another 20 minutes to at least 11:30 for the big play move, but I'm marking this out. Does everybody understand that? I want to press it so bad. So bad. Not going to do it. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Wait for a trap back behind it. I would love it, dude, if it's up here. Oh my. Oh. 232 tick potential right now if it gets up to the top of that. Right now, right in the middle, yes, I could get my 100 ticks. Okay, from right here where we currently are down to the bottom, I'm pretty sure it's 100. Yeah, it's 129.
Trump says I've just spoken to Netanyahu about trade.
Okay, we got news chatter, blah, 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 blah. They're going to keep trying to run this up as high as they can get it before they want to start taking their profits. Midday, they have another 20 minutes they can run this thing up. 19 minutes now. And I am, like I said earlier, I am going to try not to FOMO. I am going to try to hold myself to at least 11:30, because remember, it's still actually even better 12 to 12:30. Like, I get tempted into these on the regular, right? Here is that scenario right here where I'm getting FOMO'd into it. I want to press that button so bad. Okay, Mr. Manigold, love to see you, sir. How do you mark out the highs and lows of the Titanic Zone? Oh, very simple. Definitely go check out the videos on the Titanic Zone. Yeah, it's so simple. Okay, it is so simple. It is so simple. You see that little D, the bottom of that D right there? Okay, and you see that top of that R right there? Pinpoint precision. Top of the R. Bloop. Right there. Bottom of this D right here. Bloop. Do you see it? Just think of a little box around the ready DDs. Okay. And then extend it out. Right there. And right there. Okay. And then extend it this way. That's it. Everybody get that? Titanic Zone. How to draw it. How to mark it. If you get it, type a 1. 2 if you need a little further review. That's it. The ready DDs are perfectly aligned and adjusted. You're like, well, what if it's on a different time frame? It doesn't matter. It's relative. I made it simple for you. Really, I made it simple for me, which vicariously makes it easier for you. And I want you to smash. All right? Got it? I see a bunch of ones. We got it. He is risen indeed, baby. Thank goodness Jesus was perfect, because I certainly am not. I do feel like sometimes being out here with you guys, I do get held to this perfection standard of like, oh, well, Vinny, I saw this one time. You just say, yeah, well, thank goodness you don't have to be perfect to be profitable. And thank goodness I don't have to be perfect to get to heaven either, because Jesus did the work for me. You know what I mean? Now, doesn't mean I'm going to turn out there and be some nut job, because there are rewards in heaven. So people always ask, well, if Jesus did it all, then what are you doing good things for? Oh, it's called the reward system, because even inside of heaven, you could have a tiny mansion. Just saying. Like, well, is everybody get a mansion? Well, no, it actually says the word room. So your room is either going to be big or small. I'm just saying. Might want to take that into consideration. Because he says, when I come and return, he does have a reward system. Hey, but at least you don't have to burn. Okay. Yes, you get this. You get the free pass.
Gas futures extend losses.
People have asked about. They say things like, "Well, Vinny, how do you explain the whole? Well, what about the thief on the cross? Like, he had a last-minute redemption scenario, right? You have all these people who did all this good their whole life, but all of a sudden, the thief on the cross is like done all this bad stuff his whole life. He's getting crucified and stands there next to Jesus, and he says, "Oh, good master, what's up?" And then he's telling the other guy, he's defending Jesus, being like, "Dude, this guy did nothing wrong. You and I, we did all this bad stuff. We deserve this," right? And Jesus said, "I tell you this day, verily, verily, I say to you, this very day you will be with me in paradise." That's pretty cool. Everybody's like, "Well, that's not fair. That's not fair. He's getting in on that." Okay, well, he's getting there with he's in. He ain't gonna burn. Good for him. Okay, he's in the heavenly areas, but it's like living in Hawaii, but on the beach. Let's think about that. Hawaii. Who doesn't want to go to Hawaii, right? Hawaii sounds amazing. Amazing place. It's paradise. Beautiful. Beautiful weather. Beautiful place. You get to look around. Then there's Oprah's house, right? You see Oprah's house off there in the distance. You're like, wow, wouldn't it be cool to live in that thing? Like, whoa, what's that like? Okay, somebody's getting Oprah's house. Okay? And then some of the rest of us will be, even me. I might be living in a shack on the beach. All right? I don't know if I've done any or enough good things to go, is he proud of what I've done? Like, that's the next thing. Why live well? Depends on how big a house you want in paradise, folks. Oh, you don't believe me? I don't know. Listen, this is my opinion. Okay, but go read the scriptures and debate me on it there, because that's what I see. I see rewards and not rewards. Like, okay, so there's a spot in there. Yeah, you get the pass fail. Pass fail. Did you accept his gift? Yay or nay? Okay, you're in the door, but do you live on the floor? Okay, you're in the door, but are you going to sleep on the floor? I'm saying. There you go. He did all the work. Everybody's like, well, then I guess I can just live a sinner and do whatever I want. Well, you can. You want to sleep on the floor when you get there to paradise? Cool. Make sure you come by, and I hope I got a pool while I'm there, because I do love a pool. I do love a good pool. Open mind comes with a pool, and if you want to be bad, and maybe you can be maybe you can come be my pool boy or girl. All right. Just saying. What, you don't think there's gonna be jobs in heaven? Come on now. Life would be too boring without having some work to do. Come on now. Yeah, so he got his pass fail. But my point is this, like, more that, okay, so he got the pass fail, but a lot of people are like, oh, it's not fair, he got in there. Well, just because you're in doesn't mean you have ownership. You understand? Like, sure, you're living in paradise. Great. Living on the beach. Is it... it's nice to live on the beach, but, sand in your... get some sand in places you don't want it. Just saying. Get me? Did that open up anybody's eyes, or now it's like, I'm closing my eyes now? Trying to help you out. Important to me that you are rich on earth, but also rich in the kingdom of God. And yes, there's both.
Double delta team on the 3.
Questions, comments? Oh, so to draw that, I am using this tool. I have it bound on my mouse, which I just also went over yesterday in the Bootcamp. Which mouse, why the mouse, what hotkeys you want to bind. And here we go, region highlight. Region highlight Y. I use that one, Shift F2. So the mouse, there it is. Get this one right here, and it comes with the best software. Come on, like they've even got. Look at this. I've just been over this last night. So cool. Bind them up. Got a narrow grip for precision. Important to press the button right. You press the button wrong, you're in trouble. And once you get your hands on one of these mice, trust me, you won't go back to any other mouse. And everybody's like, oh no, I like my mouse. My mouse is better because shut up. I can literally, unequivocally, I have done the mouse studies, my friend. I have bought over 130 mice. I got them stacked in my closets over there, and I've tried them all. I have tried them all, and fully tested them out for gaming, and then applying it to day trading. And this G300S is the best. Period. You on the beach or the car park? There we go. I might be too, man. I might be. Well, thank goodness we got time. We still got more time. Let's see. I believe the law is not done away with at all. If we need to walk as Joshua walked, and we need to keep the law is not a burden, but a delight, and it's how God, as is served by us. So my question, do you disagree with my logic around the reward system, the pass fail? I don't think you deny that Jesus is the only way. He's the only out of all the, everybody's like, well, how do you know it's, religion? How do you know it's not Buddha or Gandhi or Muhammad, or how do I know? Well, because there's only one of them that said, I am the only way. All the others are like, oh, there's lots of ways, this way and that way, and they're all the same. Dude, there's only one who stood there and said, I'm the only way. And he sacrificed himself and died. And I'm going to go, you know what? If I just have to use pure logic, I'm going to go with that one, number one, if I'm having to choose between them. But let's say if I'm wrong and you're right, okay, well, it's not a big deal. But if I'm right and you're wrong, it's a big deal. It is a very large deal. Yeah, so we agree on that. And then the law part, what you were talking about is, so the laws, he says, if you love me, then keep my commandments. It's a very simple thing, he says. Jesus says, if you love me, then keep my commandments. That is the action. You see? And then that is where the reward comes from. Extra reward. Because, I still think it's a reward. I don't know. Is it a reward for somebody else who have done the work? Like, Jesus did the work. He paid the price. And then you get the benefit. But he's also saying, but if you truly love me, then keep my commands. He said the same to Peter. He asked Peter 3 times. He's like, are you sure you love me? Are you sure you love me? Are you sure you love me? He asked Peter 3 times. It's like, well, Lord, of course I love you. Like, no, but do you love me? Yes, Lord, I do love you. Like, but Peter, do you love me? Why did he ask him 3 times? Listen, I think you need to pay attention. Anytime the Bible repeats something, like, do you love me? And then at the end of it, he says, then feed my sheep. Vinny's version, biatch. Okay, because he's like, you can't talk it. It's not just talk. You can't just talk it. You can't just say it. Where's the action on it? He's like, then feed my sheep. He's like, then do something. Show me. Stop talking it. He says, walk it. Right? That's what he said to Peter. So taking from that lesson to go, okay, so he doesn't want you. He's not just like, okay, here's your free gift. Cool. He's like, all right, so you're in, but how much do you love me? How far do you go? So obedience and law, he says, then keep my commandments. And that's what he gave to us. So in his case, feed his sheep. That was his specific job. And then for us, then if you're reading farther, he's saying, then keep my commandments. Right? Now, breaking the commandments, is that going to keep you out of heaven? No. According to what Jesus said, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except through me. So you get to go through him. You're in. And reward system comes off of your obedience to his commands. That's the way I read it. Makes sense? Questions? I'm here to answer it because I'm sitting here waiting for this grind out, trying not to press the button. I got 8 minutes to not press the button. That is right, David. Okay, man, now I'm seeing we got a red dot on the 89s. I am so tempted. This FOMO is real. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the 29. On the 29, so the wave now has a red dot. And we still have a big run up there, the potential up to 39 320s. And when in a grind, do not rewind. I'm not trying to go against that until when? 11:30 to 12:30, where we might get that. I call it the relief leg of the move, as this has been a just straight up, look at this, 45-degree angle straight up there all morning. I posted the mathematical probability that Jesus is the Christ in the chat. Oh, let me take a look. Mathematical probability that Jesus is the Christ. Oh, this is interesting. Let me save this one.
Watch what milk
How long is this one?
does to your brain. Take a look at these.
Yeah, it's a little long here for the live stream here, but thank you for posting that over there. And I'm definitely going to review that and get that. I believe, if I have seen something like this before, the statistical probability of Jesus not being the Messiah with all of the fulfillments of, well, tell me what's the number. Is it's over 300 prophecies fulfilled, or what's the number? Don't quote me on that. Forget the even 300. What's the number of prophecies fulfilled? 371. Okay, thank you, Johnny. The statistical probability of one person fulfilling all of those in that time frame is, like, I'm sure this is basically to say some astronomically impossible probability of him not being the Messiah and fulfilling all of those 371 in a 33-year period. Wait, is it 371 or 2500? Over 2500 in the New Testament? Oh, you're saying after? Or you're saying pre? I gotcha. Yeah, but people discount the New Testament because they're like, well, they're just saying what he did afterwards, after the fact. Yes, but 371 prior to him fulfilling. Is that correct? $371 in the old. Thank you for that. I'm going to try to remember those facts. Hopefully not hopefully not in the way that I remember to turn off real-time protection on the regular. Again, thank goodness we don't have to be perfect to be profitable, and thank goodness we don't have to be perfect to be with him and avoid the... People are always like, well, I mean, that seems pretty harsh to send people to hell. It's just rejection. If you reject him, you don't want to be with him, cool. Well, then you can be with the other guys. And guess what the other guys are going to be? In a very hot place. Hot and uncomfortable. He's like, you want to be in my family? And you're like, nah. Okay, well. See ya. I'm not sending you there. I'm just going, okay, you rejected me. You rejected my gift, what I did for you. I kind of wonder, I think about this sometimes. I'm like, if I saved you from a car accident, like we're hanging out and we're walking across the street and I see this bus coming last second, you're looking down at your phone for whatever reason, and I'm like, hey, move, and I jump out over at you and I push you out of the way knowing that I'm going to get hit by the bus, and I save your tail, and I'm, blah, blah, you know, I'm just getting smashed underneath this. You know, I don't want to be too violently disgusting here on this, but I just get absolutely annihilated by this giant bus, and I'm all laying out on the ground there, and you're like, oh, you wake up from your phone a second, you look over, and I'm laying on the ground, bleeding out over there, just disgusting, you know, and I'm still alive, like breathing, and you come down, oh, Vinny, are you okay? And you're like, you know, he's like, you just saved me. You realize, like, I just saved you. Okay, here's my thing. If I ask you to do one thing before, like, my dying breath, Vinny says, hey, man, will you fill in the blank, whatever that is. Will you just make sure you, I don't know, send my mom flowers. Tell my mom I love her. I don't know, something like that. You're like, nah, I'm not going to do that little tiny thing for you. I'm not going to. Or can you just tell people that I saved you? Can you just tell some other people that I'd be willing to do this for you too? And you're like, nah. Okay, thanks. I know you did that, but you know what? I don't know that you really did. I think you were going to get hit by the bus anyway. You know, it's just, you reject me, okay? I don't know. And then one day, I don't know, I'm in some place, I'm like, and you don't do that thing. And I'm like, if it's me, and again, thank goodness that, I mean, you don't want me to be Jesus, all right? I'm like, so I just did all this for you, and then you're going to reject me? Dude, get out of here. Get out of my face. That's me. I'm just saying, and I hope he's not like me, but it sounds like he might kind of be. He's like, you reject me, then okay. Well, you can go over there with the other people who ran that way, because your test here on Earth is that test. And you want to get me started on the fact that, listen, you were a son of God before you ever got here. Earth is just a test. This is just a little bubble place you've been placed down on here to see what you do. This is a test bed area, my friends. If you don't get it, you don't know that, go study a little bit deeper. Understand that you were a spirit being before you got here. How do I know? Let's go read Jeremiah. I knew you before I ever knit you into your mother's womb. And before I put you into your mother's womb, that means you were something before you went into there. You were a thing before you went into there. And he said, before this, I knew you. And in the new, like, I know who you are, not who you're going to be. I knew you before I sent you there on your test. You get to go through the flesh test. And if you reject me, then I know that you were on Satan's team when the whole battle went down. You go read the battle of Satan and the angels, and the third of the angels that got cast down, and there were sons of God sitting around watching this whole thing. It was us, whether you were part of the battle or whether you were not in the spiritual realm, I believe. And then he puts you into three categories. He knew the people who were on his side. You come here on Earth, you got kind of a not too many trials and tribulations, not too difficult, because he's like, I already know this one's on my team. Then you got the ones in the rejection team who are like, dude, this guy was literally, I saw him on the front lines of Satan's team, riding with the fallen angels. You were opposed to me. You didn't want to be in my family when I had the opportunity to be in my family, and you knew all the power of God, and you rejected him because you were like, hey, Satan's giving you an opportunity to like do whatever you want. And he's like, do as thou wilt, and you follow me. And if you follow me and reject the Father, and I'll be your father, and you are on the front lines of that, guess what? You come here on Earth, I personally think that you have a very hard time. That is my personal understanding. When people are like, well, why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? How do you know they were good? How do you know what they were before they got here? Oh, you don't know that part? So there's my answer. My answer is, I think that when those scenarios where you're like, well, that seems like an impossible thing. Well, there's a scripture passage that says some people were sent here to burn. Well, that doesn't sound fair. No, how do you know? He says, I am a fair and just God. How do you know that? If you have to believe that, well, then you have to believe there must have been some reason prior to that he knew that you were going to be on the rejection chain and you are going to suffer, period. Yes, I do think that there are some people sent here like, well, what about the people who can't profess with their mouth? I think they got sent here with that in mind. He's like, I was rejecting you to start with because you were in bucket number 3. Bucket number 1 is a good bucket. Bucket number 2 is the question bucket, because some of them were just like, I just want to be out of it. Whoever wins, they'll be on the sidelines, or I'm supporting, but I don't want to get in the middle of the fight. The middle ground, that's why he says, I hate the lukewarm. He says, if you're lukewarm, I want to vomit you from my mouth. So be careful of that bucket number 2. You have the challenge here on life, but it is still available to you. At least you have the opportunity to accept or reject him in bucket 2. Bucket 3, you got no chance. He might remove the tongue from your mouth. Because he says, profess with your mouth that he is Lord. Well, like, what about the people that can't profess with their mouth? I think that was by plan. I hate to say it. That's just my opinion. You don't like it? Put it in the comments.
Flat. EU may issue.
Not that I don't care. I do.
And Apple DM.
But I have to answer the questions. I have to answer the hard questions. People don't like answering hard questions. I don't oppose the hard questions. And by the way, if you don't like answering the hard questions, you're a coward. If you're one of these preachers that's like, oh, yeah, you know, people might not like what I say, and the offering plate might not be big enough today. Shut up. You are a coward. Did you know that there's a place in hell for cowards? Go look that one up, pastor. You're listening to my message here today, and you're a coward, and you're still playing the butterflies and rainbows game. Oh, we talk about the good things. We don't talk about the hard things. You're not doing your sheep any good. You're not feeding your sheep. You're feeding your sheep if you're continuously feeding them just water. Ain't good enough. You're not giving no meat. There's no nutritional value there. And I think you're going to be surprised when you get to heaven, because he says, hey, be careful if you're going to be a pastor. Like, that's not a thing that you want to take up if you're not meaning it. You're held to a higher standard. Just be careful if you're just preaching rainbows and butterflies. You're not teaching the hard parts. The people really need the answers to, really. Because a lot of people reject him because of these questions, because of the hard questions. They're like, well, what about the guy that's do? And I go, okay, well, I'll tell you. They were sent here to burn to begin with because what they did before they got here. What? Yes, I just answered that in 2 seconds. Oh, you're mad about it? Cry. I don't believe that. Well, you don't have to. You don't have to believe. I'm just answering the question in a logical, analytical manner. Yeah, all I did was ask you to click the like button. And you're like, I'm not clicking that like button. Okay. I just died for you. You can't click the like button? Oof. Yeah, I'd be... I don't know, I'd be pissed about the like. But you know what I'm saying. I like that. I like that one, though. It's funny. Really good person, but don't accept him, then go to hell. Yeah, so if you're a really good person, I saved your tail and I asked you to hit the like button, you're like, I'm not going to hit the like button for him. Yeah, he's a nice guy and whatnot. He died for me. He had this massive, you know, he jumped in front of that bus for me, but I'm gonna reject the offer. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm just going to keep doing my thing. Okay, you don't want to be part of my family. Well, there's the other side of the family. You get to hang out with him. It's not being sent to hell. It's just that's where they're going to be. You want to be there with them? He's like, okay, I give you what you wanted. That's what you wanted? Okay. You chose that. Finish your bootcamp on screen, live trading on the other screen. Vinny times 2 is a little weird. Bubble as in round, globe-like? No, dome-like. Dome-like. What? Oh, here, I'll draw you a picture. Snow globe.
Double delta eam on the 9.
Light, starlight, so bright. How does a North Star stay in at one place all the time? Whole section inside of my Discord, bottom left. Globetards. What about innocence from war, genocide, children and babies? So I did just kind of, like, that was where I was going with that. That I do believe that there are groups of people that are sitting here in bucket number 3 that were not meant to return. That's the hard answer to that. Because they weren't innocent. That's kind of what I just said a minute ago. Maybe you didn't catch on to it. Like, I don't mind saying it again. It's hard to understand, but they were sent here, rejected before they got here. To go through a difficult scenario here with unredeemable. There is one sin that is unforgivable, the blaspheme of the Holy Spirit, and that is denying the power of God. And those who rejected his power before they got here, there is a bucket for them. And if a third of the angels did, how many of the sons of God do you think were tempted to take Satan's offer? And it was juicy enough for Eve to take, and then Adam to take, to go, you can be like God. And then the ultimate rejection of being removed from the garden, etc., to be like, okay, you want to live the hard life? Cool. That's the deal. And if you already knew, because the bucket number 2 is the only question mark. It's like the question mark bucket. I draw it out like this. This came after long times, like, this is not on the interwebs. This is what I've come to the conclusion of with having existential crises in my 30s of what's the answer. Bucket 1 is the winner bucket. 1. I know this is pre getting here to Earth. Okay, pre-Earth. You were an SOG, a SOG, sons of God. So the Father, Son, Daughter of God. Angels had a battle. Well, the angels also were talking to the sons of God, going, you want to be on our team? Bucket 1. You're like, nah, dude, I'm with God. There's this bucket. Satan and his angels. Can I get a SAG? I'm gonna look for a G. Satan's angels of, help me out with the G. So you got the SOGs or the SAGs. This is bucket number 3. They were like, no, I want, all hail Satan. I'm rolling with you, dog. In the battle, you could see them. He's like, I see you. I see you opposing me actively. Actively. You do not want to be my son anymore. And by the way, if one of my sons rejected me, that'd be hard to go. But like, okay, you want to be with him, you don't want to be my son. Okay. Bucket 1, bucket 3. He knows you are actively battling against God, Michael, Archangel Michael, good angels, plus the SOGs who were battling. Okay, that battle that was going on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go read on that one. Okay, but I'm answering the hard question here. Then there's bucket number 2. These were the lukewarms. Wondering, like, what is this lukewarm concept? Like, I want to spew you from my mouth because you weren't for me and you weren't against me. I would rather you have been in bucket number 1 or bucket number 3. I would rather you be hot or rather you be cold for me. This lukewarm area makes me want to vomit. You make me want to vomit. So the people in this bucket, you get sent here to Earth and you get a chance. You get a chance here on Earth to prove, because you're like, well, Lord, I just didn't know what to do, and you're just okay. Okay. The most of the challenge here on Earth is here. 3s, he said, you reject me, I'm already sending you down there to burn. And those are the ones that you think are innocent, and they think that they're, well, they got a hard situation, whatever do. This is just my answer in response to, how do I go, well, there's no possible way this is, so God must be evil, well, he doesn't say that he is. He says God is love. He does say that he is a just God. He has reasons for everything. And just because you don't understand it doesn't mean. It's like you not understanding how AlgoBox works and you're telling me it doesn't work just because you don't understand it. There are things, he says, my ways are not your ways. My ways are higher than your ways. You don't understand it. Okay, well, I'm trying to, in my human way. And I'm not saying I'm 100% right. I can't guarantee you this is what it is. But this is logically what works in my mind to go, well, here's how, according to what I have read and studied, according to his revelation, what he has revealed in his word to us, for us to have an understanding and seek. He says, only those who diligently seek it shall find it. Because if he just painted the answer right out there, then the test would be invalidated. if you already knew the answers to the test when it came in and it was so easy for you to take the test, it's not a test anymore. It's like playing a video game that's on easy mode. Like my sons and daughters, I asked them one time, I said, would you enjoy, they love playing Fortnite and Minecraft. And I asked them one day while we were sitting at the table, I said, would you enjoy Fortnite and Minecraft if there was no progression and difficulty? And the answer was no. If it doesn't get harder, then they wouldn't enjoy it, they wouldn't play it, etc. And because it's like, well, it's too easy at that point. Okay, well, this is, hello, welcome to Earth. It's a challenge. It's something that can be overcome, and you can make a lot of things of it, or you can make nothing of it. The whole parable of the talents. What do you do with your talents? Do you sit on it, bury it, do nothing with it? Or do you double with what he gave you? And if you handled a lot, he will hand you even more. That's the whole lesson from the parable of the talents. If you don't know what I'm talking about, again, should be resonating with people who have at least heard some of this or sat in church a few times. If it doesn't, hey, come talk to me. Well, I'll answer more. I'll get with you on a one-on-one if you want to get on a call. We'll chat it out. So bucket number 2. This might be you. I think a lot of people who are here at this scenario, I think you're bucket 2. It's probably why you're here to begin with. Bucket number 2. Do you accept or reject, pass, fail, to return to the presence of God, which is heaven, in his ways, in his places, in his celestial areas? Or if you reject him, it's not that he's pushing you and sending you to hell. It's you get to choose. You chose. He's like, oh, now I know. Because he gives you free will. Angels, God already knows. Okay, angels, he created them. They have angels is actually a position. It's not an entity or a being. It's a position. What you do. Angels are messengers. It is a messenger. Did you do your job? You didn't. Okay, you're programmed. I know what you're thinking. I know what's up. Sons of God, he created uniquely to be able to love him through choice. You have the choice to love him or not. He did not create robots in you to force you to love him. He's seeing who will. And he says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. This is his test for you. Did you accept him? You reject him. Did you love him or not? And you don't think God plays favorites? Oh, my word. Don't even get me started. If you don't understand that God does play favorites, that there are favorites, like every scripture, I don't want to say every, but a lot of the stories in scripture, were you saying Joseph wasn't a favorite? You saying between Jacob and Esau, there wasn't a favorite? Go read the stories again. If you think, oh, are you a Democrat? Did you take 5 booster shots? Come on now. Come on now. That's not how it goes. This is a challenge. This is a test to see how far you're willing to go. How far are you with him? Should I give you more responsibility? It's like my own children. Which one of them am I going to give the most amount of responsibility? The one that proves to me that they have the most responsibility. I'm not going to give, okay, I love my youngest one. Yes, I love him just as much. But levels of responsibility, am I going to, okay, so here, you want to drive the car? Here, you want to make some decisions for us? You want to, no, yeah, it's natural. So you can prove whether you are someone who he wants to give more responsibility to when you get to his celestial kingdom again, if you accept him, versus that's pass fail. I keep talking about the pass fail. It goes through his blood. You either accept his blood sacrifice because you are imperfect. Pass, fail. You accept Jesus, you don't. It is all done at the cross. This is pass fail. Then beyond pass fail is how much responsibility you receive in the kingdom of God and your reward system, what you can do when you are there. Living on the beach with nothing. Living rich, he says, we will rule and reign together. And there are levels. The levels come from the commands. Whether you accept it, reject it, that's pass fail. Whether you then obeyed his commandments and did works. He said faith without works is basically dead. He's like, okay, your works. He says, and then I bring my rewards with me in Revelation. When Jesus says, when I return and I find you there, I will bring my reward for you with me. Because he's seen what you've done. Pass, fail, rejection. This second bucket, when I talk about bucket number 2, this is you. Accept or reject, pass, fail, in or out. And then what you do after that is how far you go with your reward system in heaven. This is how I explain. So answering your question of the hard question of, but what about the innocents? What about the war? What about genocide? What about, again, bucket 3. I'll just give you the hard, but at the same time, simple answer. This is flame. This is flames. You don't know what they did before they got here. You claim they're innocent. To you, because you got men in black. Boop. Your memory blanked before you got here. You don't remember who or what you were before you got here. You may have a sense of it. When you close your eyes, you got to know that you are not just flesh. You haven't figured that one out yet? Okay, well then you have maybe been handed over to your blinders. There's a scripture passage that says, I will hand them over and let them be blinded so that they cannot return. That doesn't sound fair. Well, you don't know that he already didn't reject them. You've ever been backstabbed before? You might know this feeling. I do. I know. Hopefully that answers the question. That's how I respond, how I answer to things. Okay, if I miss questions, I have been on a black screen there for a bit. Is it 11:40? We're at 11:47. When did this pivot occur? It's 11:15. We already having the shift. Remember what I said? I was like, I wanted to hit that so much. Oh, it's so tempting. Just happened to be a weird time of day, but it looks like we have already started to have our midday pivot. This is a very large dropout here from top to bottom. Currently 101 ticks already off of the top, shaved off. And remember when I said I wanted to take that play so badly? Look at the Titanic Zone.
Iranian authorities
right?
seized
But yes, it still took time.
flagged vessels carrying smuggled.
And ultimately, there's the trap back behind, and now the full dropout there. Huge move off of the Titanic Zone. We originally spotted it to the trap back behind it to the drop down is 375 ticks. Titanic Zone playing out again. And this was so pure, right? This is such a easy one to see. All same color, all lined up, all in a spot there. This is them ditching contracts, taking their profits, and there we go. Gotta love the Titanic Zone. Okay, what questions did I miss? Awesome Titanic, yes. 3 heavens, 1 or atmosphere, 2 space. Space is fake, bro. No, I don't believe that. Don't believe the nonsense, Johnny. 3 heavens, the desert. Dust is sweet. Link in Discord. God, if a person blasphemes God, can he be redeemed? If you blaspheme God, yes. If you blaspheme the Holy Spirit. So an example of that is when the Pharisees came to him, he had done these miracles. They see the power of God. Because when you talk about, so what is the difference? Like, what is the Holy Spirit? That is the power of God. When you have seen the power of God and you reject it and say that it is Satan who's done it, this is what the Sadducees and Pharisees had done when they saw the miracles of Jesus and they said, he doesn't do this by the power of God. He does this by the power of Beelzebub. Literally, like, they're like, so we've seen you do this, but you did it by the power of Beelzebub. Now Jesus literally replied to them and said, a kingdom divided cannot stand, and if I do this by the power of Beelzebub, then what power do you do it by? Yeah. But that is the rejection of the power of God. It's like if you've seen the power of God, if you have seen the miracles and you reject them at that point, that is unredeemable. Now, if you have not seen the power of God and you're just like, okay, you know, you haven't seen a miracle, you haven't seen some scenario, whatnot, like, then I believe that is the difference. A hard question, but that's how I answer that, because he said, like, you can blaspheme me, Jesus himself, you can blaspheme God the Father, but you blaspheme the Holy Spirit, and you have literally seen the Holy Spirit in action, in works, and you are now going to say, oh, that miracle thing happened because of satanic power or some other thing besides the power of God. He's like, you reject me at that point? Dude, I ain't coming around again. I ain't showing you. I'll show you one miracle. Don't ask me for 2. All right, that's like somebody coming and asking you for money. Like, they came to you, you helped them out one time, and that's why Jesus always said, like, look, go and tell no one. After you healed them, like, now go and tell no one, because like the whole point is we're not here to just, like, I'm not here to do side pony tricks and get everybody to. Well, yeah, once you've seen the absolute evidence, now the test is too easy. But once the test has become super easy because you got to see a miracle of God, and now, like, you have already, it's like, hey, I got a test for you, but I handed you, like, you saw the cheat sheet. That's cheating at that point, and you reject it. Once you have already seen the answer, he's like, you're a dumbass. Get out, get away from me. You are too stupid to be here, right? And I mean, I've had to say that to people in my trading room before. Okay, it's like, listen, bro, you've seen all the evidence, you've seen what we do here, and you're going to come over here and play like this. Like, all right. You've seen too much, and now you're still like, get out of here, bro. Like you got. I think that's how it goes. I think that's how it goes. You know, this is just the Vinny version of, you know, what I think. You know, curious about the stuff. Should watch the latest show, Ryan's show, John Burke, Lee Strobel. Let me answer your great questions. What, Johnny? You don't like my answers? Let's see. There's none good. No, not one. Yeah. Is your brain a good person, understands how wretched he is and knows he needs a savior? Darwin accepted on his deathbed. Yeah, that is true too. Excuse me, separate forgot. He's not going to force you to seek him, and there is nobody good, not even one. No, he just hands you the choice. He hands you the choice, and you get to choose. Celestial, terrestrial, telestial. Ooh, now we're getting deep. Now, I do think there are different levels. In fact, that's described in, there are levels of heaven. In fact, there are levels up above us of the firmament. The firmament is not one level. There are multiple layers in there. Even Enoch describes that one. And now you're getting real deep on, like, why do they hide the book of Enoch from you? Because they don't want to answer the hard questions. The Pastor Vinny. Hey, as long as you spell my name right. I have this little tiny pet peeve when my name is spelled V-I-N-N-I-E. All right, I'm not Minnie Mouse with an I-E. I know it's tough, but Vinny, V-I-N-N-Y with a Y. Y. Help me out, bro. What is your definition of lukewarm people? Ah, there we go. Let me hit that lukewarm one more time here. Important. It's a good question. The lukewarm bucket. Bucket number 2. So let's imagine there was a battle going on. Now I'm going to pull up the passage. Actually, can somebody pull up the passage on the battle that is described in the Bible between Satan and the fallen ones, and him casting them down to earth, getting him cast out of heaven, the rejection. But so we're talking about bucket number 2. Lukewarm. How do I define the lukewarms? Remember, we're not talking about here on earth. We are talking about, remember, I'm talking about sons of God. Before you got here, when the battle went down, when Satan offered to go, hey, I got another way. I've got, you know what, you want to follow me? I think I can do the God thing better than him. Look at me. I'm beautiful. God made me amazing. I've got all these talents. I'm a music singer, because it describes Lucifer as having all of these. It says in his chest are all of these capacities to have the timbre, the cymbal, all of these musical instruments. So he's probably very melodic. And come on, we're all impacted by music, right? Music, it makes you feel good. It's like, God's given me all these talents, and you know what? He's made me better than him. In fact, if you followed me, I've got some better ideas. In fact, I think I can make this more fun for everyone. So follow me. Right? Make me God. Serve me instead of serving the Father, and I will be your new king. I will be God. Now, you had that choice. The lukewarm guys were like, you're that one sitting on the back of the pew being like, I'm not going to say one way or the other. Okay? They're like, they don't reject him. They're not on the front lines being like, no, get out of here. How dare you say any of that? Okay? Lukewarm. What's the difference between being a coward and being shy? And this is why I think he gives them a chance, because it's like, well, I do need to know if you're a coward. Well, he's like, I know it. I'll put them in a test, and then I'll know. I'll blank their minds from what they currently know, because otherwise, like, look, when God won, after God wins and casts them out, he's like, okay, now who is on my side? This lukewarm bucket, look, he knew the bucket number ones. Bucket number ones, he's like, he saw the people on the front lines, right? The front lines people are on God's side the whole time, being like, no, fighting against Satan hardcore. The Go Gods, right there, bucket 1. No problem. Check. I see you. I saw you actively doing it. You were taking action. Lukewarms are the ones, hands in your pockets. Like, oh well, I don't know. I don't want to fight. I don't want to. Okay, now again, whether that's coward or shy, because again, like we're all with different personalities. You know, my children all have different personalities. You know, and particularly one of them I'm thinking of, like, you know, a little bit more shy than the others. And doesn't mean that they're not good. In fact, they've got awesome talents. So maybe it's just that they didn't know what to do, or didn't. I'm not a go-getter. I'm not right in the middle of things, but I'm maybe they're the kind that are silently praying in the background. Like, you know, I'm praying that, you know, and so he asked a question at the end, were you with me or not? He's like, here's the line. If you reject me, go, get out. Of course, who in the lukewarm bucket at that point, once God's won, is going to be like, oh, no, okay, nope. I was on Satan's team. Go ahead and send me out with them too. I'm sure there were some dummies, and that's bucket number 3 that we already talked about. But the hard one is this lukewarm bucket, is the ones who he's like, okay, I got a question mark for you. You have some of the, in my opinion, the biggest tests here on earth. Without the absolute capacity to, for sure, fail, there are some people sent here to fail. That's my answer to the people who are like, well, what about the ones who are born with no tongues? Born that are, you know, so there's 2 things. He just said he's either doing this so that you have rewards here on earth to take care of them. Okay. But they also might be sent here to burn. And there's probably multiples of that too. There's nuance in these things. People need to understand there's nuance. If people don't want to deal with the nuance because it's too hard. Even right now, there are people going to absolutely hate what I'm saying here. And I'm just here to try to speak to you the truth and the understanding in imparting the word in interpretation that try to answer your hard questions. Okay, well, what does the scripture say? Jesus particularly said, well, what about the main people? What did they do? Did they do something wrong to have received that? And of course, you're going to say, well, no, he said that, well, no, they are sent here so that, and what I would interpret as, so that the good folks have something to do, so that the power of God can be manifest in them. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, people have interpreted that, well, so that people have the capacity to go, hey, there is someone who is hurt, and like you can go out of your way to help them. And it's literally more of a reward system for the people who are helping that person than for that person.
Yeah, S&P 500 seeing a little bit of a movement towards the upside.
Does that answer the question on this? This is basically the lukewarm bucket. It's like the I don't knows. And so you get a chance here on earth to go, okay, well, let's see. You're going to accept me or reject me? You're going to follow me? How far are you going to go? How, in being that you were in this bucket, the one that was the question mark bucket, prove it. This is the prove it bucket. This is the go to earth and prove it, son. You want to reject me? Cool. You don't want to come back? Cool.
Seeing golden.
But he is giving you a chance.
Index extending gain to 2.9%.
That's my interpretation. Make sense? Here we go, 12 o'clock on the dot, and here we are, back up again. Hey, I am so happy. I am so happy to have not FOMO'd that, right? Look at this. Now this giant move up. If I kept trying to go in on that short scenario, this would be murder. All right, this would be terrible. Am I right? Let's see. How far am I away from 15K? Oh, there's an 11.9. Okay, I'm going to start getting in short right here. My 11.9. Now, I got a green dot back behind that. Not helping me. And I see them moving up fast. So do I think it's going to last? I don't. So I'm hoping this is going to be coming down. I got a half position so far. We broke through that 11.9, just slicing through it like it doesn't exist. That's crazy. Okay, red dot. Am I going to get... how far am I away from it? I think I was about 500. I need about a 500 bag. Let's see how am I going to get that here. Pop it up. There's my ready DD. I'll go my full position back behind the red ready DD. Up on the fast.
Fib.ym on the 3. Upper band.
All right. So we're working our way. That's 8. That's 9. I'm going to go... Dr. Seuss at least one time in here somewhere. There's Dr. Seuss.
Upper bands touch NQ on the 89.
Being timing Dr. Seuss.
Divergence down YM on the 9.
Dr. Seuss. $12.02. Now remember, this can run to 12:30. I am hyper aware that it could be a, we've got that
Double delta E.
12:30 scenario. Delta shift. I would prefer that be red. That is a battle now coming in right there. Dr. Seuss headshot.
Double delta E.
I'm going to peel half because I am half as confident now at where we're currently located. And as we continue to go, see if I can hold to an opposing signal. There's 40 ticks. Probably should have killed that at the 40. And I'll go ahead and grab my 40 ticks to get me all the way to 17K on the day. Patience pays today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And we'll grab a little bit here off of NQ on the same scenario there. 17,706's headshot being the final trap in that one. Given the signal here and here, we moved fast. I don't think it's going to last. You know my thing. We've been grinding. Now we went fast. I was waiting for that fast blast. I waited patiently. I got my bag from the top to the bottom into that zone. 78 ticks with a dropout. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Thanks for hanging out. For me, Pippi, Robbie, Lunchbot, Mod Squad, Curtis G, and Eddie B. I am sending out the big H down. Don't forget tonight, 4:30, Bootcamp Day 2, Session 2. Be there or be square or catch the replay. See ya. Don't go yet. Wait until the art team shows you
Looking at
how it's done. Art team,
businesses
take it away.
Russian gas contracts without facing penalties. They're looking at legal options that could forbid
The old adage where, the individual investor doesn't have a chance, but the institutional investor has better technology, better information, and, more money and better opportunity. I don't think it's real anymore. I think the edge is on the individual investor because they're small, they're nimble, they can trade, they can use front end technology.
Don't waste your time. Leave the technical analysis to us. You just play the game.
Forex is littered with crooks, black hat guys, all this kind of shifty characters and companies trying to extract money from your pocket and stick it into theirs. And one of the things that they do is operate these Forex signals.
Delta vibrating. Long. Look for a long. Harmonic pattern. Pick up. Down on a freeze. filled. Target filled.
Saturday instead of Wednesday.
Audio Jungle.